Hey there, it's Sam here from BMT School of Music, and today we're going to be learning Badfinger's Baby Blue. If you have not watched Breaking Bad, you need to watch all of them if you are over 18, of course, because this song is in it. Anyway, so it's a really, really cool song. This version is with a capo on fret 4. I've been looking up some live versions of them playing it, and it looks like, I think one of the guitarists uses a capo and one of the guitarists doesn't, so you will find different versions. But this is really, really fun. This is a great lesson for if you're quite good at rhythm guitar, you're a little bit more geared towards acoustic guitar, and you want something that has something, if I say, a little bit more twinkly. Because if you're learning electric guitar riffs, you get a lot of easy, fancy guitar riffs and melodies and things like that, and it can be quite hard to find acoustic stuff that works really well. Covering that aspect of having something more twiddly to work with. So let's make a start. Here's how the intro goes. Like that. So the easiest way to look at this is the same way that you would a chord progression, which is a chord progression is made of different chords, and you have to string those chords in the right order and change those chords in time. If you are not good at one of those chords or even more than that, you need to practice that chord by itself. So the easiest way to approach this song is to look at the separate parts and practice those separately before you start stringing them together. So here's our tab here. So the first bit I'm going to take you through is this little bit here. So the easiest way to play this is to get your third finger and put that onto the bottom E string, and it's kind of a G chord, and it's playing what you would call an arpeggio. And all you're going to do with this, you have that third finger on the bottom E, fret 3, you're going to pick that note by itself, then you're going to pick the D string by itself while still keeping this finger here, and then you're going to pick the G and B string together, like that. Rhythmically it goes like this, like that, all downstrokes. I play this, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sneaky tip. I hold my third finger on the top E. That helps keep my hand relatively still. So I have a kind of an anchor point. But it also stops me from ringing that top E. So I have that. Okay. Another tip. Picking technique. So when you pick the bottom E string, make sure that you're picking. And as you pick, you're jumping over to that D string. Then when you pick the D string, you're jumping over the G, and when you pick the G, you have to also get the B, so you can have a bigger movement to hit those two strings together. So again, as I pick, if you look at that right hand, as I pick the bottom E, you see as I pick, I leave and come over to that D. What you don't want to do is pick, I'm always saying this, you don't want to pick and then move. There's two separate movements, there's one movement like that. So over to that D, same when you go from the D to the G, and then when you pick the G and the B together, a little bit more of a downward movement. Now when you finish that, you do actually need to be springing back towards that bottom E. So that's how you get that first part. Now you want to try and be able to play it repeatedly, like a riff. And if you're good at that, you're ready for the next bit. So let's have a look at the next part there. So that is this bit here. And what you're going to do here is your third finger is still in the same place from having played that previous melody that we've just done there. And then you're going to play these little chords. I'll do these in pink. You're going to play these here. So what you want to be looking at is that you're picking the same 3 strings, but you're changing one note of those. So you're adding in this here. So just for a second, imagine that those are all zeros. And so therefore it's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and that would just be like that. So here, slightly different technique. I would pick those 3 strings, a downwards movement that's punching through all 3. And again, when my third finger's out, it's going to stop me picking that top E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Prior to that, you're going to have this note. Like that. So you've got 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start to add in that first finger. We'll do this separately. So we have 1 off, 1 on. 1 off, 1 on, and 1 off. So out of those 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have the first finger on like that. Then we're going to join it it to this. Like that. That's the whole of that part. And if I play it like a riff, I'll have that. Okay, so you've got this first bit and the second bit. We're learning them as separate melodies or separate riffs like you would separate chords. We're going to do the third part now, which is all melody. We'll come to this in a second. So we're going to play this here. And this is going to be done in first position. So unusually, you're not going to use your first finger. No first finger. What you're going to do is you're going to use your finger 3 for fret 3 and your finger 2 for fret 2. So you're going to have 3 on the bottom E. I'll just sort of go over these in blue as we go. So 3 on the bottom E. Then open A and second fret on the A string. Then you're going to go to an open D. And you're going to come down the A string, 3, 2, 0. So that's fingers 3 and 2. And then you're going to finish on the note that you started with. So that's how you're going to kind of just work through that melody, just string by string. And then as you put that together, that's going to come out like this. If you are into alternate picking, get that down, all pure alternate picking. So you'll pick the bottom E as a down, the A string will start as an up, down, then the D string will be an up, then the A string will start with a down, and then the bottom E will finish with an up. So my right hand is pure alternate picking, always down, up, like that. If you're not into alternate picking yet, you can have a go at it, but if you're sort of playing a lot of downstrokes, you can get away with doing all downstrokes there. But it is way better the earlier you get into your alternate picking, the better. But just bear in mind, if you don't do any alternate picking at all yet, then you're probably going to struggle to be doing 2 layers, which is trying to learn alternate picking and trying to learn new melody. Best way to get into alternate picking is actually, do it with a melody you already know really well. Okay, so those are the 3 parts in the intro to Badfinger's Baby Blues. So you've got part 1, part 2, and part 3. And all you have to do to be able to string it all together perfectly is just play part 1, then part 2, then back to part 1 again. See, that's exactly the same as this part here, and then that part 3. So that'll sound like this. I'll do the screen share up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of the first part of that song. So let's move on and do the verse. It starts to get kind of a little bit easier because a lot of this is just using chords. So we have a D twice, then a C, a melody, then an F, a C, a part we've seen before, and another part we've seen before. So if you don't know your D chord, your C chord, and your F chord, this lesson could be a little bit too tricky for you. You ideally need to know these chords beforehand. So in this video, I won't be going over those chords. So we're going to have a D, and you're going to strum down, up, down. So you go down, up, down. You do that twice, so you got another one, down, up, down. So both together, 1, 2, 3, and a down, up, down, and another one, down, up, down. Then you're going to go to C. You're only going to do C once, down, up, down. So if I do all of that together, 1, 2, 3, 4. So D, and another one, and C. Then keep your fingers on the C chord because the next bit is going to use the C chord to play an arpeggio or a melody. So if we go to this part here, let's have a look here. So there's our D chord, tick, done. There's the second D chord, tick, done. There's the C chord, tick, done. Here is the melody that we're going to do here. Let's do this in green. And we're going to split this into 2. These 4 notes are played with a let ring technique. So what you're actually going to do is keep your fingers on the C chord, and you're going to pick the A string, the D string, the G, and the D again, like that. You can technically take away your first finger because you're not using that, but you just pick those 3 notes, down, down, up, down, specific picking technique, down, down, up, down, like that. You see I'm doing that just by holding those 2 fingers there. The thing that misleads some people is when they look at the tab, they'll play it like very, very separately and not realise that actually those 4 notes are held together as a chord. Okay, then you're going to move on to this, and you're going to kind of hold a different chord. So all you're going to do for that is just get your second finger and hold that on fret 2 of the A string, and just pick exactly the same right hand pattern. So once you've got good at that right hand pattern with the previous chords, you'll be good at doing it here. Down, down, up, down, like that, like that. Just do that, showing you the tab again. So it's just that little bit there. 2 on the A, open D, open G, back to the D. Then you've got to put both of those together. Like that. I'll do that again. Stumbled there a little. Okay, little hack that I actually do here. You can use the finger 1 to do that part, because it can be quite hard to actually jump that string, that finger over, without hearing a kind of short note, what you call staccato. So you could do that. So anyway, so far you've got D, and another one, then C, then the melody we just did. Okay, then you're going to play an F, then a C again. Then we've got our old friend from the intro, and also our other old friend from the intro. So that will go F, C, then riff from the intro with the melody from the intro. And the whole thing, 1, 2, 3, D, and another D, then C, then the first melody, then F, then C, and from the intro, it just repeats that twice. And that is how the verse goes. In this lesson, I'm only going to go as far as doing the intro, the verse, and the chorus. I'm not going to go over the bridge. So the chorus goes like this. So you go to a D chord, you have a different melody, then you have an A minor chord, and an A minor 7 chord, and a melody played with a C chord. Played that a little bit badly. I'm going to do it again. It's from a D. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll have the D chord, which you've done already, exactly the same strumming pattern, so just once. Then a new melody, which is the same as the other melody, but in a different pitch, and it is played quite differently, and that's done here. So we have up the D string, 0, 2, 4. You're going to do this in first position. So your second finger will be played by finger 1. Your second fret will be played by finger 1. Your 4th fret will be played by finger 3. So up that D string, you're going to go 0, 2, 4 with fingers 1 and 3. Then you're going to go across to the D string, and you're going to go G string. You're going to go 2, 0 on that G string with your first finger, and then you're going to go down that D string, 4, 2, 0. Like that. I think it's easier than the other melody. Only using even numbers. Is 0 an even number? Don't know. Okay, after that, you've got an A minor chord, which is played twice, once here, once here. So, I keep stumbling on a lot of my words here. 1 A minor chord. The next one is not an A minor chord, it's an A minor 7. You're going to do that just by removing your third finger. So you'll have your A minor like this, take away your third finger, and you're all good. The Now the last part is based on a C chord, so you're going to put your third finger there. That's all you have to do, go from A minor 7 into C. And you're going to arpeggiate that chord, and you're going to do something different at the end. So you're going to go like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that C. I'm going to pick through 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go back 2. Then I'm going to skip over the top E and go back 3 notes like that. So go over that again. So forwards 4 notes in the C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back 2. Skip to the top E and go back 3. Let's also look at that in the tab as well. So that's just underneath here. So this is forwards 4 notes of the C chord. Backwards 2 notes. Skip to the top E and go backwards 3 notes. Hopefully you've got that now. Play for it one last time. And the last bit that you're going to do here, you're going to keep your fingers on the C chord, but you're going to get your little finger, you're going to put that onto the top E string on fret 3, and you're going to play 4 of those strings in that C chord like this. Like that. So right hand just downs, and that will give you that bit there. And do the whole of that bar. It will go. Probably the trickiest part. I just play through the whole of the chorus one last time from here with the screen share. And there you have it. That's how to play the intro, the verse and the chorus from Badfinger's Baby Blue. I hope you love playing this song as much as I do, and have a great time learning an amazing song. Take care.